and preparations for the elections, informing people and keeping them abreast of what
Yeah.
is happening in that space. But let's start with the concerns that many people have. I'm sure, as a person, you've heard people express some of these concerns, like, oh, they're
Yeah.
buying off voter cards, or they refuse to give voters cards to people from a certain part of the country because they want to harvest that information and use it during the election. Let's start with that.
Okay, so first, I think that it's only fair that we acknowledge Nigerians' fears. This is Nigeria after all. This is Nigeria where, you can get to your bank and they tell you somebody just withdrew your entire money. I mean, we know how scared our parents were of ATM machines. But over the years, it feels like their fears have been proven true because, somebody just goes there and then you go to the bank and the bank says, oh, at that time the video wasn't working. So first, I feel like it's fair to acknowledge that Nigerians can be afraid. And, this is elections and we know just how up and down Nigerian elections can be. But having said that, I want to add that some of the tech that INEC is introducing, all things being equal, should actually cut short on things like, they've taken our voter's card, they've taken it away, they're going to use it. So in the 2019 elections, INEC deployed the smart card readers, which essentially was you take your card, you take your voter's card, and then you slot it into a machine and it accredits that, yes, you're registered. But we know that what that didn't do was that did not guarantee that anybody couldn't take that smart card reader and then go and use it to vote. Now, what BVAS is the new technology that has been introduced. What BVAS is able to do is essentially, I mean, the at the beginning the name is Bimodal Voter Accreditation System. Essentially, it's that you now have added to the voting process biometric information. Biometric information means that card, the machine, you're going to use your fingerprint, use your facial ID, facial recognition to accredit. So all things being equal, and I know I'm saying all things being equal here because I think it's only fair because this is Nigeria. All things being equal, if Uche carries Nkechi's card and attempts to vote with it, because the card is not registered with Uche's biometric identities, then Uche is not going to be able to vote in place of Nkechi. That's what I mean. At least that very the.
Oh my goodness! I think that we're having a little connection issue there with Nike.
So I know to come back, but
Yeah.
I like when she goes all things being equal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
So-
we have a right to our concerns.
Yes. So I was going to ask that what if the person that is verifying that this is not Nkechi, this is Uche, is part of it?
That's a big question.
That's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and secondly also, okay, she's back now.
Okay,
Welcome.
Adenike, you
Nika,
froze
welcome.
for a bit.
Oh, so sorry. I was wondering. I wasn't sure. I couldn't see you guys move anymore, so I wasn't sure if
Yes.
we were still on.
Okay.
Again, you see why Nigerians are scared of technology now. Even our WhatsApp calls are troubled. And so people are like,
Zoom,
if you're
this
telling me,
Even Zoom.
Even Zoom, right?
yeah, I mean, even Zoom, yeah. I'm every technology we use seems to be, when it comes to Nigeria's case, it's special. But
Yeah.
the Beavers machine is supposed to limit, reduce really the ability for. So the fear that they will sell my voter's card and somebody else will go and use it to vote. Well, the Beavers machine is the technology answer to that question. In that your biometric information.
Nick, I was asking this when you were off a bit. What if the person that is supposed to know that this is Nkechi, not Uche, is part of the deal?
In cahoots,
so
yeah.
now we're getting to the Nigerian situation.
Yes.
So which is why I said that it was important to acknowledge people's fear. And I've always said, even from PVC registration up until this point, that I think INEC's communication, whatever their communication strategy was, hasn't been very pro people in terms of even offering assurance, like, guys, okay, we know that you have these fears. This is what we're doing to make sure that those fears don't come to pass. Because really, what INEC can do is assure us. There is nothing, you can't remove the people factor.
Yeah.
It's the reason why we have trolls online. It's the reason why we have bots. And Twitter is working double hard. Well, they were working double hard. I don't know what Musk is doing now. But Twitter is working double hard, to remove. So you can't remove the human factor. But I think this is where INEC needs to communicate to the people. We have the newly signed Electoral Act, which, it's not like the previous one didn't, criminalize. But those are the kind of communication that needs to happen. And INEC needs to tell people, guys, if the INEC chairman's face is not there, if the INEC chairman's voice or representative is not there, you are there and you can report and you can notify, you can say, hey, this is what's going on here. And I think this is the kind of awareness that people need to have, to know that things are not as out of their control as they think they are.
Yeah.
Like where you notice that human factor, then you can speak up and say, hey, this is going on. The Beavers machine is not working, or people are manipulating the smart card reader, or any of those things. Those are things that, we can't remove the human factor, but it's also the human factor that is a response to the human factor.
Because we do not have too much time, I want you to, just bombard us with as much information as we can handle. Now, I've seen a couple of your reports that Dataphyte has put out. You've asked questions like if, INEC is able with its technology to trounce election fraud. You've talked about issues like, how not to disenfranchise Nigerians in 5 steps. Let's talk about that, because you were addressing INEC. You were saying, dear INEC, this is how not to disenfranchise Nigerians. For example, I tried to transfer my polling unit to Lagos, moving from Port Harcourt, and it's taken forever. And just 2 days ago, I just realized that, finally it's here in Lagos, so I can go get, But then there are people who are still saying, it's not working. I can't find my name. I can't do this. I can't do that. So what would you be saying to INEC now? And let's churn out those 5 steps.
Okay. Here's the thing. I feel like for transfer of polling units and all, I feel like the time has lapsed on that, because INEC is done. But one thing people can do for quite a while, INEC published the voter registration details. They put it out on the website, and that was a good opportunity for people to check, to confirm. I had people in my space in the office. We sat down, we actually looked for our polling units, looked for where we were, and then tried to ascertain, if all of this stress of going to queue for registration or transfer of polling units worked. In your case, for instance, it worked. And I feel like, again, this is the challenge I have with INEC's communication, which is the last point on that report. You need to say it and say it again. Get on air. You're the ones that should be chasing airtime now. Get on air. Use your social media and actually talk to people. So I think that the voter verification process has closed, and so they have removed, because it's by law it's supposed to be there for just a while. So I think that what people can do, who are still waiting for information around their voters card, who are still waiting for information around whether their polling units have been transferred or not, is to on INEC's website they have contact details. I think they have it across state, and I think they have it across districts as well, senatorial districts and stuff. Is reach out and actually call. If you're in a position to visit the INEC office, go there and make your complaint. And here's the thing: if nobody is responding you, come and talk about it. Shout online. Go on Twitter. I'm trying to I saw that this morning. I think it was NIMC saying they wanted to do something, and somebody came online and said, yeah, you guys are announcing something, but the thing I've needed you to do, you've not done it. And that's how people need to engage with INEC. In the report, we talked about the fact that INEC had promised to use 200,000 Beavers machines. Now, and we raised the challenge that, look, if voting is just between the hours of 8 and 2 p.m., and it's going to take a polling unit with 500 people, for instance, and it's going to take an average of 2 to 3 minutes, all things being equal, the Beavers machine is working well. For that, for each person to go through, it's a very limited number of people who are going to be able to vote using all things being equal, the process is working, the Beavers machine is working, which means INEC needs to increase the number of Beavers machines they're using. We talked about polling units, the location of polling units. Right now, we have about 171,000 plus polling units. And the question that people have been asking is, look, there are polling units where there are just 3, 4, 5, 10 people. And there's, like several booths for voting. And then there are polling units where there's 1,000 people and you just have one voting station. That doesn't work. So we need to, again, this is the one thing INEC come out and tell us, this is how we are mitigating this. This is what we're going to do to make this work. I think INEC needs to talk louder. I think they need to talk faster. I think they need to explain what this technology means in language that people understand. A lot of people have heard Beavers. We have heard IREV, where they're saying that they're going to be putting instantaneous results, publishing it online for people to see. Previously, what had happened was people would take snapshots, and even that had been driven by civil society. Civil society will, we've had the Snap and Send campaign. I think it was done by PTCIJ at the time. It had been driven by civil society. And it's good that INEC has taken position and said, this is not a bad idea. So they've set up IREV where they're saying that they're going to be proactively publishing election results. They need to come and explain to people, this is what it means. This is what we mean when we say we're publishing. This is the frequency at which, some of these things, we can't explain it for them. We try to understand the tool from their own communication, but they are the ones that can come out and say, this is how this is going to work. If you see a result from here and it doesn't have this sign, it's fake news, it's misinformation. This is what you see if something is coming from our website. This is what you notice. This is kind of detail that will be contained there. And this is the kind of communication that, INEC needs to do. INEC needs to also reassure us that the people and that their officers are not going to come at 10 a.m. when voting is supposed to start at 8. And that people are not going to stay on the queue for hours and hours waiting for them to show up. So INEC needs to talk loud and talk fast and explain clearly to people exactly, because
INEC has its job cut out for it, doesn't it? It does have its job cut out for it.
So I want to ask this too. This one concern of mine, and I think concern of some other people. Some people have had their PVCs sold or taken under duress, so to say, from the information we're getting from all the radio stations. Now, is there a way technologically I can still have my PVs? Because some politicians or what they say, or people that don't want this to go, will rather, if they can't get you to vote, they rather disenfranchise you. So with the details, can someone, if you have your PVC taken from you, is there a way you can still say, I mean, this is my PVC, it's taken from me? Is there a way you can get it or vote? Is there a way you can still vote or get it technologically? Because you've taken my biometrics.
Details. So again, all things being equal, that should be possible. All things being equal, you have my biometric information. I have the details of the card, for instance, but the one thing is the card has to read something. The card has to read that ID card, voter's registration card that you have. So I think what makes sense, and this is, I don't know what INEC is planning to do. I can speak for INEC. I think what makes sense is, if your PVC has been stolen, for instance, or taken under duress, go make a report, get a statement from the police, do all of that, and then let's take it back to INEC and say, hey, I want to vote. This has happened to my PVC. How do I get, a solution for this? And then if they don't respond, we can then start making noise and start talking and saying, hey guys, we have, so again, it's good to always track. And again, bring a change up there to my society colleagues and saying, perhaps this is something to lose. Perhaps we'll start the register of people who are facing this. So we have some data. So we can come to INEC and say, look, there are 20,000 Nigerians who have said that they either can find their PVC that has been stolen or something. What do we do to make sure that they still get to vote? I think that's a way to mitigate. All
right. And Nika, we have 5 minutes before we go on a very long break, but let's see if we can take some calls. 0700 993 993 993. Hello, good morning. What's up, Lagos? We lost that call. Please call us back 0700 993 993 993. We're talking about concerns about the elections and, of course, INEC technology. And we have joining us this morning from Abuja live Adenike Aloba. She is of Dataphyte. Yes, Dataphyte in itself just tells you that it's tech. They have data. Anyway, call 0700 993 993 993. Or if you're a lady, you can call 01 465 7190. Hello, good morning. What's up, Lagos?
What's up, Lagos?
Hey, come close to your phone. We can't hear you. Hello, madam. Speaking to your phone. We can't hear you. Oh, dear. Please call us back, all right? Apologies. Hello, good morning. What's up, Lagos?
What's up, Lagos?
What's up? Good morning. Cheers to life. What's your name? Where are you calling from? I beg your pardon.
My name is Mwachukwu Michael. I'm calling from Ijebu.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been listening to your program right now, and I just wanted to ask questions because I've never been part of this this election and all that. But because of what is happening in our country right now, I want to really be part of it to vote. But actually, what really happened is this: I went to where I registered, I think 2014, to go and collect my PVC. But when I got there, I gave them my the slip because when I went to where I'm staying presently right now, the lady helped me to check. They saw my ID and the batch number and all that. So she asked me to snap it and go back to where I did my registration. So when I went there, I actually showed them. So they went to the batch number. They searched for my ID card, voter card, but they couldn't find it. So I don't know if there's a way I could get, or I don't know how to go about it.
So bottom line, you haven't gotten your PVC since 2014?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but I've registered.
And have you gone back recently to try to find it?
So this is the registration I did was 2014. So they've done everything that they said that I think it's an omission or something, but I don't know how to go about it. Okay. They said it's omission because since they checked the batch number, they couldn't find my own.
Okay.
That it should be an omission. So I don't know how to report that incident right now if I can get my PVC.
All right, I'll take one more call and then let Nike answer quickly because we're running out of time. Hello, good morning. What's up, Lagos?
Hello, Miriam. Good morning. Mercy calling from
Mercy.
Yes,
go ahead
Mercy,
quickly.
go ahead.
30 seconds.
So there is this time inside last 3 months, this group of people come to our area in Ikorodu here. So they were like, the government wants to give this, give that. So come with your voter's card, come with your means of identification. So people went with their driving license or national passport, this thing. So a lot of people went with their voter's card, and they are taking vital information from those voter's cards. So I don't know whether they will still be able to vote with their voter's card or it's already invalid. So that's my question to you.
All right, Nike. Interesting questions.
Yeah. Okay, let me start from Mercy and say that all things being equal, again, forgive me, I have to keep saying this because it's Nigeria.
We get
they should still be able to use their voters card. The fact that they took some information from them doesn't mean they can't use their voters card. However, Nigerians, the same way you protect your ATM pin, the same way you protect your passwords to everything, protect your PVC in the same way. The same way you won't just give out your bank verification number, give out your ATM pin. It's the same way you should. If any device that has your information, biometric, your name, all of those things, you need to protect it, because even INEC can't prevent this one. This one is not on INEC. INEC can't control when people say, oh, come, just show us your PVC, we'll give you something. This one is on us. We have to protect our PVCs. Okay. I think people can still vote with their PVCs, even though they are, shared their information. Okay. I'm hoping that we don't now get to the election and find out that people got there and somebody says, oh, sorry, you voted yesterday, or you voted in the morning, or you voted at 3 p.m. or if that happens, that then becomes a cause for conversation again, for advocacy, for adjustment, and all of that. As to the first question, I'm really puzzled. I couldn't quite get clearly if he has gone back during this the last PVC registration process, because that would have been the action to take. They would have been able to tell you, you know what, be registered, just start afresh. At this point, I'm not sure there's anything more you can do because, hey, PVC registration ended, they extended it. I'm not sure there's anything more you can do.
Well, Adenike, I'm so sorry, but we have to say goodbye because we're out of time. Unfortunately, we have a long list of ads to run through. But Adenike Aloba is the executive of Dataphyte. I want to say thank you, Adenike. I know that you time from your very busy schedule to speak with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Have you back again.
We'll bring you back again
so
because
much.
we need to keep having these conversations.
Thank you. I'll be looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you so much. Adenike Aloba there joining us live from Abuja. Well, guys, we have to go for this very long break. And right after that, we'll be saying our goodbyes. Stay with us.
This is
I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired are fired.
It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not a